I'm your host, Sean MacKenzie. Thanks for joining me once again on my channel on data engineering and data analytics. In this episode, we're going back to our Python playlist and we're going to look at graphing using Plotnine with Ggplot, which is the grammar of graphics, which if you're an R programmer, you probably already know how to create the graphics using that syntax. And so it's an extremely handy way of describing your plots, and you can use it across R and Python. And so that makes it very, very handy if you need to do some Python programming, but you want to do your graphs using Ggplot. And so without further ado, let's get to our bar chart using Ggplot and Plotnine. Okay, so to start our example here, I'm going to create a new file from our idle shell, and I'm using the default installation of Python from python.org along with some libraries like Plotnine and PyODBC. You can get the Plotnine information how to install those libraries from a previous episode that I did where we did a scatter chart using Plotnine. So to get started, I'm going to import PyODBC as Pyo. That's going to be our data source. We're going to get some data from Microsoft Access as usual, and import pandas as PD so that we can have a data frame from our data, and then I'll import Plotnine, and we'll print that we're going to open the database. That gives a little feedback to the user, and I'll paste in a connection string here that we used in a previous episode, many previous episodes, because we've got a bunch of data in there. And I'll create a connection, equals pyo.connect, and then I'll put my connection string in there, and then I'll print that we're going to select our data here so that we can get going. Okay, so giving some feedback to the user that we're going to select some data, and then I'll create an SQL string here. I'll do SQL equals, then I've created a query in the Access database on the data that was provided by the World Bank. So many thanks to them for this data set called the Climate Change data set, and that data set had some measures, a whole bunch of different measures in it. One of them is the ease of doing business with that country, which had scores in 2011 for most countries, for many countries, and as well as a public management score and institution score, which is sort of like the strength of the public institutions, and that had a score of 0 to 6, and then the population in 2010 as population there, and then I called the query climate business public institution, nice descriptive name there in our Access database, and that's going to allow us to get a nice data set that's going to let us do some comparisons. I wanted to limit the population to 20 million, so just any countries bigger than 20 million, so that we don't have a million bars on our chart, and then that'll do for now for our SQL string. So what I'll do then, I'll get a data frame. I'm going to say data is equal to the pd.read SQL and SQL and the connection as our arguments there, and then that's going to fill that data set. And then the next thing that we want to do after we get our data is we'll close our connection. We'll give some feedback before we do that. Say print closing DB, and then we'll close that. It's always good practice to make sure that you close your connections or your connections or files or things like that before you start doing all kinds of crazy stuff that might get errors, because you might leave your connections open. So I'll print data.head, so I'll get the head 10 records of that data frame, and then we'll see what we get. So I hit F5, and you can see it's opening up the database, getting some data. There you go. It's Afghanistan. Ghana's got a better ease of use score. So that's 1 to 183, I think. And so you can see there's public institution score, which is opposite. A higher number is better. And so now what we can do is we can sort of create a bar chart, simple bar chart using grammar graphics, using those figures. So in order to do that, we'll get our graph is equal to, now we can use our Ggplot syntax very similar, in a very similar way to how we do it in R. And so we're going to pass in our data frame just like we would in doing it with R, and we'll do AES. The aesthetic is the we'll do our X axis, and I'm going to reorder that so that it's by ease of use descending. So that's going to basically show the lower numbers first, because that is a better score if you have a higher ranking, I suppose you call it. And for the y-axis, I'll just put the ease of use, or pardon me, ease of doing business, and then I'll put the fill as the public score, so that the graphic sort of changes color according to how the public score sort of rolls out. And that's going to allow us to sort of see, if they got a higher score, by color, how are their public institutions. And so we should see, a better score of ease of use also has better public institutions, I suppose. That would make sense. But I guess we'll find out when we do our graph here. So in a similar way, we can add on things using the plus sign in our Ggplot. So we're going to add our geom bar to it, and we'll use the stat is equal to identity, so that the individual values are used there. And then we can put our title in using labs, and we'll just specify the title in their labels, under labels, and the title is equal to ease versus public. So it's the ease of doing business versus the public institutions score. And I guess I could put a new line in there, and then with the population over 20 million. And so that'll put a title at the top that we want to see, and then I can close that off, and then we can finish off with our closing bracket, and then we can print our graph and hit F5 and see what we get from there. Oops, looks like I have a syntax. I put my closing bracket on, but it looks like I have an extra plus sign in there by mistake. So let's take that off and save that and hit F5 again, and see if we're good to go here. So it looks like it's running. We're going to grab our data once again from the database, and there you go. It's given me a little graph. It looks kind of messy down at the bottom. It put the reorder, even though that was in order to reorder it, it put that in the name. So you can see it's a little bit messy, so we need to clean it up. And it seems like this graph is kind of in reverse order. Looks like the better score is at the end of the graph, and kind of hard to make sense of that. So I think what we'll do for that is we can clean that up first of all by we'll fix our labels. So just like in Ggplot on R, we'll put our X label country and our Y label as ease of business, doing business with that country, and then we can also we might as well, I think it would be good to flip the axes around. So let's coordinate coordinates and flip there, and that's gonna flip it up. It'll look nicer, and maybe change the colors a little bit with the classic theme, and I'll save that. And there's our X label, Y label, our flip statement, and the classic theme, and that should do it. I don't think I have any other brackets I need there. So if I hit F5, I can go ahead and we can see we get the same thing, and I'll grab that. It popped up there. That looks a little bit better. Now we can actually read our country names there. Ease versus public institutions with population over 20 million. As you can see, Ghana has the better score, and you can see that the public score is better as you get to yellow. So that would sort of indicate that, you know, better public institutions make it easier to do business, and as we get down to with lower scores, the public management and institutions don't have as great of a score, and so that kind of seems like it correlates. This is probably not the best graph for that, since the score is actually more of it's a categorical variable, but you can see how to do the bar chart using grammar of graphics, which is sort of what I wanted to show. So I'll put the rank on there. That makes it a bit clearer. I put the rank into the name of the axis, and if I grab that and pull it over, now you can see a lot better. You can sort of see, there we go, there's our ease of business rank. And so as we go through, you can sort of see how the bar chart can be, you can tilt it over and all kinds of stuff, and you can sort of change the fill according to other variables, just like grammar of graphics, like you would expect if you're using R. And that is how you can use Ggplot with Plotnine to do a bar chart in Python. Hope you enjoyed today's discussion on how to use Plotnine to make a bar chart. If you like what you saw today, please give the video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell when you see the bell. And if you have any questions or comments, put those in the comment section below. Have a great day, have a safe day, and I'll catch you next time.